What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. It's supposed to be a beautiful week here, so I figured today would be a perfect day to get out, do some planting, and get a few other things done. Let's go. Before we get planting, I want to give you a peek of the food forest, show you how it's doing. Compared to last year, it's actually behind. I'll show you a clip of last year compared to this year, and that's not a bad thing. Let me take you inside though and show you a little closer. This multi-grafted Asian pear is so close to opening. Although the tree is small, it produces a lot of fruit. Well, it has in the past, and it looks like it's going to again. So you could have a small tree and still produce a lot of fruit. Even if you have a small space, you can still have fruit trees. And this nectarine, the flowers are basically opening. If we get some good sun for the rest of the day, I think it will open. We're supposed to have some 70-degree weather. Like I said, it's going to get nice. So all the pollinators should come, and we should see some real things happening within the next couple days in here. Even the hazelnut wants to wake up. Tuck just can't get enough of it out here. He loves it. He's so happy it's gotten nice out. He gets cooped up in the winter just like me. The other dog, Tiny, she's not out here as much as Tuck. She comes out and bathes in the sun, but she doesn't dig around and get her nose dirty like he gets his, and I get my hands dirty. And let me show you some of the seedlings as they come up, and then we'll get ready to plant some spinach, because that's what we're going to be planting today. It looks like the seedlings are doing well. We're starting to see some true leaves. They're progressing along nicely, and some of the cabbages. And now that they are growing some leaves, they'll really start to kick it into high gear. Here we have the moon glow pear, so close to opening as well. And another good producer for us, a healthy tree. And one of my favorite trees in here actually. Along with, as you know, that Bing cherry, one of the mother trees. She is just huge, hoping for a good crop, and looks like way more fruit than we've ever had on it. Looks like a lot of flower sets and a lot of fruiting sets. The day is passing so quickly. I'm having way too much fun just hanging out in the food forest and enjoying it with Tuck. I need to get planting. So I'm going to be planting the spinach, and just like the peas, I could have planted these spinach a couple weeks ago, but I was busy doing other things, and one of those things was working on the perennial food forest. And that's what I want to talk about a little with you guys, of having more of a perennial mindset and having a foundation in perennial plantings. This way, you always have that food coming for you every year. You don't have to do the work for it like you do annually. For instance, I've mentioned it, if I don't do anything in this food forest, if I don't plant anything, I basically know that I'm still going to get a good harvest. Now it's time to get the spinach planted. I got Tuck here with me. Planting seeds is one of my all-time favorite things to do. And one thing I advise you guys when planting seeds is to make sure you enjoy yourself. Masanobu Fukuoka says to play like a child. So these spinach, they need at least 6 weeks in order to harvest, from seed to harvest. And I counted from now, that's about May 23rd. So I should have enough time because spinach do like cool weather. Like I said, you can plant spinach much earlier than I am now if you wanted to. You can even plant it basically whenever you could work your soil. Like 6 weeks before frost, if you can work your soil, you can get it in. So what I did here was pull the wood chips back to get exposed to the ground, because we're planting into the ground, into the soil. We're not planting into the wood chips, they're just a mulch. Then I'm just gonna make a groove and then plant one row, and then as they grow up, I'll bring the wood chips back around it. Let's start seeding.
Why you sad? Can't seem to get it out my head. Lost in the thoughts of the past when I go to bed. I thought that I'd move on, just become a brand new song. Let's count to the one I was there to be counted on.
Once you pull back the wood chips and get to that right moisture content, it's amazing everything that shows up. That's what it looks like. It doesn't have to be rocket science. Now we're just going to come back and covered it all up. Things are easy when you have the right system in, like I said last video, and you've got the thick mulch down, so all you have to do is pull back the wood chips and you've got beautiful soil to plant in, nice and damp and ready to grow.
This wounded heart of mine can't walk the line. maybe I'll be better off second time. Waiting for you to come back around, girl, and you can save my world. And when the lights go on in the
Watching that, you may have been thinking to yourself, man, he's digging deep in there. And I'm digging down to the soil level. Like I said, we don't plant into the wood chips. That's just a mulch. We plant into the soil. Down at the soil level, we've got a lot of these worms too. They're in the mulch, but the soil is where we want to grow. We don't see this nice, beautiful dirt. That's what I want to plant my seeds into. I don't want to plant seeds into this, where it's a mix of a lot of big wood chips and stuff. You can plant your seeds into that if you want, but I choose to plant into this and then use this stuff more as a mulch. We don't use this as a growing medium, wood chips. Again, just as a mulch. That's so important.
back around, girl, and you can change my world. And when the lights go off in the night, I'm not lonely.
There we go, 3 rows planted. It may not seem like much, but when you do something like that every day, it all adds up. And I've got a question for you. What are you planting this year that's going to be taking care of you in the future? That's the kind of mindset you want to have with this kind of gardening. When you put the wood chips in, when you're thinking about more of a perennial based system, then you need to look at the future more and think about a system that's going to be easier and easier every year, and that's going to make bigger harvests with that ease too. For those of you that have been following through the years, you know that I haven't watered these trees really since I put them in the ground either. I haven't neglected them, I've guided them, and I haven't babied them either. You don't want to coddle your trees like a kid that you never let free. You want to watch them and guide them and give them what they need, but also give them space to grow, especially those roots. If you're out here watering every single day, you're not going to allow the roots to get strong, to reach for growth, and to expand. There are a number of other things I want to get planted in the food forest, but before I do, I need to get my peppers, my eggplants, my tomatoes planted. This way they're ready to transplant come late May. Because looking back at my notes in my video, on April 18th of last year was when my first tomatoes started sprouting. That's a week from today. So I want to make sure I get my tomatoes planted now, so we're on schedule for about the same as last year. I might not have time to show you guys that. If I don't, I'll make sure to bring you along after they're all planted. That's today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Soon, a lot of our seeds will be sprouting, the trees will be flowering, and we'll be harvesting. I can't wait to eat the fresh stuff, but I'm making sure that I enjoy the journey, enjoy planting the seeds, because like I said previously, that's one of my favorite things to do. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, check us out on Steemit, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so every time we upload, you know. James Prigioni is out.
Been a better man.